was able to be on Zion Media um, for a podcast on healing journey of celiac, plus how I was able to do a certain painting of Christ titled Transformation Through Christ. And as I was thinking about it, there were some details that I had missed in there because we were cramming so much in. And we just kind of let the Spirit guide us wherever we went. And so this morning it was like, you forgot some stuff. Why don't you get on live and share? So I haven't done this in a while, but I figured it was easier to get it out here because it is such an amazing story. I have had celiac for 20 plus years. I was in a car wreck in um, college age, right after graduation of high school, and it came on at that time. So it's been a very long time, and it's very severe. I'd have to go to the ER. I'd be down for months if I got exposed to it. So anyway, um, so I invite you to go to Zion Media. I'll put the link, or you can just look on my playlist. It's under Zion Media Collab to get the full episode there with them. I love my friends at Zion Media. They're awesome. I appreciate their testimonies of Jesus Christ. Okay, so um, I had COVID in 2020, and that hit me hard, I think, because of the celiac. Um, Everything, the gut is your immune system, So I've recovered over the last 6 years from myelitis, encephalitis, myocarditis, pneumonia, all sorts of other things. Um, and really the cognitive issues were really a problem in speech. So if you get on my YouTube, I'd get dreams and little visions or something when I'd be sleeping or whatever. And so I'd draw them the best I could. So it's not the best artwork, but I'd put them on there, and there's no audio because speaking was really hard. Communication was really hard. So my voice was art. But but now, like, as I read, my eyes can track, I can talk, I can express myself. Sometimes I talk too much in the last 3 weeks that my family's like, can you be quiet? So anyway, so to start off, in March, I had this dream. I have a dear friend, her birthday was coming up in March, a childhood friend. And so I was thinking about her when I went to bed. And this dream, I was over at her house, and I know her and her husband and her kids and stuff. And so we were over at her house, and I had brought my family, and we were just chatting it up. And then we look out the window, and there was a tornado. And she's like, "Oh, it's time. We got to finish what we're doing and go down." And so hi, welcome. And so my son was like, well, I want to see the tornado. And so I was like, well, take a quick look. She's still finishing things, and then we'll go downstairs. So we did, and then everybody else was in the basement. And so we went down there, and it was this big hallway, kind of like airport. Anyway, we get down there, and it was this huge cave. And I was like, what is this? Well, it had like hot springs in there. It had all sorts of things for the family. It was like there was a little town in there. All her neighbors and everybody came and were in the basement hiding, riding out the storm. And they had been prepared. Like there was cookies, cakes, donuts, all these things down there. And I was like, we are going to be fed. Like everybody brought their food, and together, like we just had a bounty. It was amazing. But as I looked around, I was like, there's nothing I can eat. Oh no, I didn't even think about it. I left all my gluten-free food upstairs, and the one tornado had turned into three, so there's no way I was going back up there. Um, and so I was like, well, I guess I'm going to be fasting for a really long time. And so in the dream, I was praying, and I was like, what do I do? And then the dream ended, and I was like, okay. So I went to the Lord and petitioned him, and I was like, that was a very vivid dream. What do I need to know about this? And what it was a nudge. Hey, there's going to be things happening, and you are going to be put in situations and places that might not have what your body physically needs right now. So we need to work on your faith together, that you can get over this, so that um, you can move forward. And so I was like, that's asking a lot. Like I can't even think about not eating gluten free. Like that it's just too much of a leap. So I said, but help me, you know. So I just kind of put it in the back of my mind on the shelf because truly it almost hurt to think of like doing that, you know, to have like I just couldn't do it. Anyway, so fast forward, I think it was a week or two, probably 2 weeks. I had a dream of I was in like this basement again, but it felt like a hotel, like a Holiday Inn Express or Hampton or something, and had a continental breakfast. And so I had this yellow cake and I opened it up and I was eating it and I was like, oh no, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I have eaten half of this cake. I'm going to die. And God was like in the dream, shh, it's okay. It's okay. You're going to be fine. Just finish what you ate and just it'll be our secret and just go about your day and I'll protect you. So I was like, hi guys, thanks for joining me by the way. Um, and so uh, that stuck with me. Well, my daughter was getting married here in April. And so we were traveling and on the way back from the wedding, it was out west. We decided to just, you know, drive around and make a little vacation of it, me and my husband. And oh, I totally missed the big part of it, didn't I? Hold on, let me see how I should proceed. Um, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so after the wedding, it was beautiful, it was wonderful. And a lot of people in my family and the groom's family are gluten free and celiac, so that kind of worked out for the wedding. But but as it came about, I have a friend in Utah, and and we had talked about celiac and stuff just kind of casually, and I was like, "Wouldn't that be great? You know, if I could have the faith to be healed and stuff." And he was like, I could totally do that." Well, no, I asked him. He said, "Yeah, I could totally do that." I was like, "Well, great. My husband and I will be coming, and that would be amazing." So I went fasting, and I was like, "I don't know what to expect, but I know, Lord, you want me to be healed from celiac. So this is my action. Like this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a blessing and I trust you. We'll see what happens." So we went over to my friend's house and I had anointing oil um, and a blessing upon me that I would be healed. And it was like I had like warmth in me, like not fire, but like this gentle warmth. And the prayer was beautiful. And and then it was over. And I felt amazing, like in my heart, but I didn't want to eat gluten, you know, because I'm like, you can't just change like that. But I knew God was trying to teach me something. So after that, I was like, okay, I need to be very perceptive on listening to the Spirit of the Lord on what I'm going to eat next. So there was apple in the cart, and it was like, eat the whole apple. And I was like, stems, seeds, and all. Like I'm not a barbarian. I don't do that. I'm a lady. So I did. I ate all the everything, and you know what? The seeds kind of have like an almond flavor. They pair well with the whole apple. Just saying. So maybe don't do it all the time because I know they have a little bit of arsenic in it, but it was delicious. And I even ate the stem, all of it. And and then after that, I was like, okay, what do I do? And then it was like, go get some kombucha. And I was like, well, in the past, because of all the COVID stuff, MCAS is mast cell activation syndrome. So not only was I doing the celiac diet, I was doing the MCAS diet, which is low histamine, nothing fermented, um, tomatoes, nightshades, all of that. I mean, I wasn't doing sugar. I wasn't eating donuts. You know, I was eating clean. And so I was like, kombucha, that sounds like I'll have an MCAS reaction. Like, yeah, maybe I'm healed from celiac, but what about this MCAS stuff? What about the pre-COVID stuff? I mean, not pre-COVID, but the COVID recovery stuff, that's severe. And anyway, so I listened, and it turns out I had family south of where I was, and they were it was like they were at a sporting goods store, and I was like, "Hey, we're passing through. We'll see you at the sporting goods store." And there's a Trader Joe's right there. I mean, it just all lined up. So we were able to say hi to them, even though we had just seen them at the wedding. And then I went to Trader Joe's, got goat cheese because I can't do dairy. Um, but now I can. Anyway, so that's a teaser. I can do dairy now. But so I got goat cheese and some kombucha, and that's all I had for that day. And then I went to sleep like a normal night, and I was reading my scriptures and stuff. And then I woke up at 5:55 a.m. on Sunday morning, the Sabbath. And I was like, I'm awake. I am full of energy. Normally, I sleep in, especially after a road trip and a wedding and all the things that a wedding entails with travel and planning and everything. And I was just so alive. I never felt so alive before. And I started to read, and I was like, my eyes are tracking. And just having my eyes to be able to track and read and not like get a headache or have double vision, like gave me some like a faith. Like, what? This is real? So I just stayed up and read my scriptures all morning. Then we were in a different town. Price, Utah, went to church there, had the earliest time. Meeting time was 9. And and the first gluten I had was taking the sacrament. And as I took the sacrament, so the deacon brings the sacrament, and then my husband was sitting next to me, and he was holding it, and took some. And then normally I would take gluten-free sacrament, but it's new place. They didn't have that. And so I was like, I had planned this. This is how I'm going to taste gluten for the first time is the sacrament. I planned it the night before. I forgot to tell you that. But so I reached for it, popped it in, and I was like, it's gonna work. It's gonna be great. And it was. It was. Normally, I would have gone to the ER because I would have had a migraine. I would have needed meds. I would have needed 2 weeks of recovery. So it's reality. Reality. Oh, so that increased my faith so much. So that day, we were just in awe. So then, guess where we were staying? We were staying at a hotel similar to the Holiday Express, or maybe it was. And we go inside, and there's the continental breakfast. And normally, I'd have to be aware of cross contamination, and I just bring my own like protein shake or whatever. So I bring my kombucha, and I was able to have the oatmeal. Didn't have to worry about cross contamination. I mean, it was like a buffet. I was able to eat the eggs and the sausage, and I hadn't been able to do eggs prior because of heart issues from the myocarditis. It would trigger it so bad. And so I just ate. It was like a Thanksgiving feast for me per se. It was so delicious. It was so good. And I didn't eat any gluten, but I was able to eat whatever. And I did try some yogurt with some granola, and I know the granola probably had gluten in it. So my husband kept saying, "How you doing?" And I'm like, I'm doing good." And so he was like, when I passed the tray to you to take the sacrament, it was an opportunity. Like I had to show faith too. And so together we put our faith together and knew that God was blessing us with this. And me being able to be healed from celiac has blessed him because now I can cook. I'm excited to eat. It's just changed our world, and just living in Thanksgiving daily because of it has been amazing, and such a treasure. So as the day went on, I really don't remember what happened. I should have wrote it down in my journal and stuff, but I was well. And we went through Denver and just we went to Vail, Colorado. It was just amazing. I felt good and I was walking good. Normally from the myelitis, spinal cord inflammation and the encephalitis, all those things travel would I'd be like not ready to go hiking or anything like that. And we didn't hike. We just went around, the river. Um, and some shops and stuff, um, just to stretch our legs. But I mean, I had so much energy. I just couldn't even believe it. And here's a side note. Before this, I ate chocolate, dark chocolate, like probably 2 to 3 bars a day. I mean, I was like a little monster. And I have no desire to eat chocolate anymore. Zero. It's so bizarre. And I thought that would never happen. I thought I was half made from chocolate, you know? But, anyway, so, throughout the week, I was just cautious, and I wasn't really eating any gluten. Um, and then one night I woke up and my leg was on fire, and, um my right leg has been the problem, like from the spinal cord inflammation. I had a foot drop, needed AFO, lots of problems with the nerves and vascular stuff on that leg. Anyways, it was like it was awakening from the top of the nerve down to my toe. And oh, I was like, what is going on? And so I got up and decided to just pray and kneel and stretch. And I haven't had any issues with my leg. Um, zero, zero. And so Friday or Saturday comes around and we decide to go out to eat. And I'm like, I would really love a croissant. I haven't had a croissant in forever. So we go to this deli near our house and I get chicken salad on a croissant, and that was the best. That was a true test. Like diving into a sandwich. And I was fine again. And the mayo was thick with egg. Again, I was fine. So then I really knew this is real. Like I knew it was real, but this is a life change. This is lasting. This is everlasting. And and it's just been so joyful. So then I took the sacrament again, but in my um home con home congregation, and I didn't have to take the gluten free. I just took the gluten. And anyway, uh as I've been processing it and stuff, the dream about the Holiday Inn and the yellow cake, um I was thinking about my daughter's wedding. um we had her open house 2 weeks later, and our neighbor, dear friends, they made all the cake, and it was yellow cake. And they had made one accidentally because my daughter's gluten free, one that had cross contamination in it. And I was like, that's okay, I'll eat that one. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. So I got a whole little cake to myself after the open house was over, like, because we had so much cake. Um, and I just ate that every day for like a week, and I've just been eating all these sweets all day long. And so it reminded me of that first dream in March. I was like, why is this basement full of an abundance of sweets? I mean, what a party. Well, that's what it's felt like, because like after a wedding, you have all sorts of treats in your fridge. And sourdough bread I've been eating. It's just been fantastic. So I know a lot of friends are going to want to know the story, and so I thought if I put it here, I could share it, and all the details could be in here. And because it is a miraculous move of God for sure. And so this stuff comes by faith and by fasting and um, seeking him. And Jesus Christ can do miracles. And I feel like he is speeding up miracles. Like if we ask sincerely and believe, he will give it. because we're in a time crunch. Like, things are going to be happening before he comes, and he needs us well. So I think back on that video, I mean, that dream of the tornado, and I should make a video of the dream or draw it, but and how, natural disasters are going to be coming about, but I don't have to worry now. And you guys, another thing, he just keeps up in the notch on faith. So I'm eating gluten. I'm reading. I got energy. I'm eating sweets before I couldn't have any sugar. Like, I'm eating donuts, guys. Donuts. It's so good. Frosting. Anyway, so with the COVID recovery, I've been on so many medications and supplements for mast cell activation syndrome. Like, you're just on lots of supplements, just how it is. And I am not on any meds. He's got miracles. He wants us to be well so that we can do his work, so we can share his light with those who are seeking it in the darkest of days. I pray that you can find him. Call out to Jesus. Find him. He's there. Maybe in times past you haven't felt that, but he's hastening his work, and he wants you. You are part of this. And that's my testimony. I'm so grateful. Like, I live in Thanksgiving every day, and I live in donuts and sourdough bread. Ah, and I have the habit of like going, oh, I need to take my medicine, right? And instead of having to go take my medicine, that's the time I know I need to say a prayer in gratitude. So I have found my voice. My brain is clear and active, and I can talk and communicate well. And so I'm going to be taking the little videos or dreams that I've drawn, and putting audio with them and explaining what they mean and the warnings behind them and the blessings. And so hopefully you tune in for that and go through the different playlists. And I have so many new paintings that God wants me to do. I'm excited for those to get working. I just started one about a mustard seed, and how line upon line, like I have all these little mustard seeds, and how as you layer them, it forms this foundation of faith, right? And then a huge tree grows up from that, and how we can dwell in that and receive that fruit. So that's what I got going on. So once my house is still a bomb from the wedding, so I'm gonna clean that up. But in the next week or two, actually, I have to probably post every day. I promised I will do that. So you will be seeing some tomorrow, whatever it may be. So enjoy, and Christ lives. He lives and loves us. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you listening. Bye.